The Phillies have guys that are close to big league ready, and that's what the Brewers are looking for. Big league ready talent. Trade it straight up for Devin Williams.
Bold off-season predictions in our boldest font. Let's do it right now. We have 5 of them, and we're going to go down the line. Kratz has 2, AJ's going to present 2, and then I'll finish with 1. So, Eric Kratz, the first bold prediction from FT is?
Cleveland Guardians will spend over $60 million on a free agent.
Total contract, not on 1 year.
Total contract. Like an Edwin type of thing. I think they see there's a window, and I think I'm not saying I know who that one person is who's going to push them over the top. I think it's some type of pitcher. I think it's an opportunity for them to get a starting pitcher that's going to give them some innings so they don't break everybody in that bullpen. And I think with losing Bieber, I think uncertain about Tristan McKenzie, I think it's something that will push them to do something kind of like they did with Edwin. They may see a window here where they still have Jose in his prime. They still have a lot of quality players that can make another run at the playoffs.
Edwin Encarnacion, just to clarify, is that who you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
When they went in, I think they went in 3 years, $55 million.
I can find that, but just for some kids out there who are like, "Who's Edwin? Who's he talking about?"
Sorry,
it's actually been a minute since they've done that. 3 years, 60 to Cleveland.
It was 60
to 2019. There was a club option on there. I don't think they picked up, but anyway, yeah, it was 3 years, 60 back then. So good call. So playing off of that, and they need what, 1 or 2 starters, and they need an outfielder, a bat
somewhere.
Yeah. So either way, that could
for
be the
60.
play.
I just couldn't think of a bat that they're going to put in the 60 to 75 range. I feel like you get like a Sonny Gray type of 3 years, $75 million, for a starter, somebody that makes a big impact on this team, who figured out a way to swing it in the first half, and that kind of diminished a little bit in the second half. But to me, that's my bold prediction.
Okay. And also, yeah, I mean, just to clarify again, Sonny Gray's not a free agent, but like what he did last year with somebody like, who's the guy? John Manaea?
I mean, I could see
Kikuchi.
Kikuchi would be a big.
I like Evaldi there, although I don't know if he's going to get 60.
Evaldi's not going there.
No? That's not
Why
his
not?
spot.
No. I don't think Evaldi would be. I just don't think he will.
Luis Severino?
I think he'll get more than 60.
Evaldi, for me,
he's going to want to go to a shorter-term, higher AAV team that's right on the verge of winning. And I don't think he looks at Cleveland as a team that's guaranteed to win. So I don't think he goes there. He wants to go to – I mean, I could see a Jack Flaherty where they overpay for him, a 3 year, 75, something like that. I mean, or a Severino, something like that. But I don't see Snell going there. Manaea maybe, but they'd have to probably overpay. Kikuchi would be a good one. Nick Martinez. People love Nick Martinez.
But he's not getting 75. I promise you that. And I think he's going to take the qualifying offer. But I know what you're saying. These are the kind of guys that they would look into.
We're not talking to the top. I mean, would they bring back a Shane Bieber for a year or 2?
Yeah, but he's not. We need someone that's going to be 60 plus.
But it's tough to find one.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I don't.
Besides the top guys are going to be way above 60, right? You're not getting Fried. You're not getting.
But you got to find do you sign like a 4 year 60 something to somebody like a Nick Pivetta?
I think Kikuchi could be a play for them.
Kikuchi,
he's an analytics superstar. Cleveland definitely plays in those waters. All right, what's next for you, Kratz? We got 4 more to go. Go ahead.
Obviously, I'm going to contradict what I just said about trading for Helsley and Arenado, but the whole Alec Bohm thing kind of threw a loop in it. But I said the Phillies are going to trade for Devin Williams. I think their closer market, because their closer now is looking to become a starter, Jeff Hoffman, on the free agent market, so it's not like you can just go out and get him. I think it's one of those things that he is clearly the best available closer on the market if the Brewers are trading him, which we all think they're going to trade him. And I think it's a move where the Phillies have guys that are close to big league ready, and that's what the Brewers are looking for. They're not looking for guys who are in the lower levels and not ready to make an impact in the big leagues for 2 or 3 years. They're looking for big league ready talent. Trade it straight up for Devin Williams.
Yep, love that. Love Devin Williams for them, and obviously almost any contender is going to be in play for him, and he's probably going to get traded. All right, you're up.
All right, mine are pretty simple. I already said it. Juan Soto's not signing with the Mets or the Yankees. He's going to the team that gives him the highest value. Now, is that the Nationals? Is that the Blue Jays? Or is there one of the mystery teams out there that we don't know about?
You think they're going to pay?
I'm just saying.
That's
a prediction. It's a bold prediction. I could be boldly wrong, but I'm just saying. I have a feeling one of the some team, whether it's the Tigers, who's going to play into my next prediction, which is the Tigers make the biggest splash this offseason.
Oh,
whether it's with one player or numerous players, they tasted the postseason this year. And I feel like the Illiches are itching. The Illiches are illiching to get back into the postseason. They're going to sell some more Little Caesars pizzas, especially those little pizza bite things they're selling now. And they're going to make some big splashes to try to get AJ Hinch the players you need to try to make another deep run in the postseason.
That plays into my fifth bold prediction. But before we go to that, I'll just try and double down. If your bold prediction is accurate on Juan Soto, I want to say it's Toronto. Where they just
what about
say,
the Nats?
Screw it.
The Nats might go
they
back to
offered
him.
440 back in the day.
Maybe they go back to him and say 12,500.
Yeah,
I don't
know. I mean, Toronto makes a ton of sense. You just haven't seen them do that, but they know they have to overpay. They were in play for real for Shohei Ohtani, and again, I know it's a very different player in terms of the business component. But do they think Juan Soto could take over the country? It's a great business out there, the Blue Jays, when they're doing well. You have the whole country.
The one major obstacle I see, though, is they have Bichette and Vlad that are both coming up as free agents. Will they use the money, or will – because the thing is, if they're not going to sign those guys, then the Soto signing doesn't make sense. You got to sign also those guys to go with them.
I would
At
say
least one of them, which would be Vlad, I think. They'll
Bo's
sign
gone.
Vlad over Bichette.
Yeah, Bo's gone. Soto signing actually helps them recruit Vlad and say, hey, let's get serious right now and talk about this. You're going to be our two. Instead of Judge and Soto, it's going to be Vladdy and Soto.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. Kratz, are you into it?
I'm totally into it. I think the Blue Jays have needed to – they make different kind of money up there, and people gloss over that fact. And they don't have to recruit. No other free agent, every other free agent is going to look at it and be like, well, what's the future of this organization? With because their future is looking bleak. A lot of these pitchers are going to be off. Bo's going to be gone. All that stuff. Juan's just looking for the cash. And Toronto prints cash. This holiday season, I want to give a gift to my loved ones that makes them feel special and unique. That gift is Storyworth.
Here's how it works. Each week, Storyworth emails your loved one a thought-provoking question that you get to help pick. Things like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? And what's the farthest you've ever traveled? All your loved one needs to do is respond with a story. Long or short, it doesn't matter. After that year of fun, Storyworth compiles those stories and photos into a beautiful keepsake hardcover book that you'll be able to share and revisit for generations to come. This is the perfect book to pass along at family gatherings or read with your kids. It is beautifully orchestrated by Storyworth, and that's why it has more than 35,000 five-star reviews on Trustpilot, with millions of stories preserved since they were founded over 10 years ago.
With Storyworth, I'm giving those I love most a thoughtful personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. Go to storyworth.com/foul and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/foul to save $10 on your first purchase.
All right, last one for me. It'll tie into what AJ said about the Tigers, because we don't fake it. We don't share what we're doing. We just kind of lay it all out. I've got the Tigers acquiring one of AJ Hinch's former leaders, either Alex Bregman, which is not as bold of a prediction, but Carlos Correa is, in my mind. I don't think a lot of people are talking about the fact that he could get traded. The Minnesota Twins are in a desperate financial situation right now. And I don't know why that is, but they are, and they are operating and trying to operate at a profit. And that is for multiple reasons. One, that's how this next generation of owner and Pohlad family likes to operate. Two, he's trying to sell the team. So he's trying to be like, look what we can do. And I think he's going to try and trade away an asset like that, who's actually coming off a really good game for game season. The injury concerns are there, but I think there's a level, even if you have to buy down a little bit of the contract, where that is definitely a tradable player in my mind. It is not years and years left for Carlos Correa, and I still think he can be a winning player, especially on a contending team that can take care of him and say, hey, we want to make sure he's thriving for the playoffs. He's been clutch. I think he really helps with young players. So I think he could be a really big boost to the Tigers if they lose out on the Alex Bregman sweepstakes. Do you guys like that one at all? I mean, he was almost a 4-win player this year. I know he was definitely hurt. He played I mean, a little over half a season, but he was really good when he was on the field. And he definitely has an injury history to him, but he's also played a lot.
They're not trading Carlos Correa in the division.
No matter what?
Nope.
So it's too bold?
They're taking Jerry Reinsdorf model
What if that's
I'm not
the only
trading
option?
in the division.
What if that's the only option? I actually think that Derek Falvey doesn't care about that.
It's not Derek Falvey's choice, though.
It's ownership. Ownership's selling. What do they care?
They care. Because
You
they want
think
the
they
highest
care?
value they can get for the franchise.
Right,
They still
but if
think they
they
can
trade
win,
him
too.
away, they're
They
going to
still think they
take.
can win without Carlos Correa?
He's $33 million a year on the books.
Okay.
$33 million.
Are they trying to win or are they trying to cut money?
trying to cut money?
Okay, well, then that makes sense, but they're not going to trade him in the division.
Because initially they signed him thinking that payroll was going to continue to tick up. He has 4 years, $128 million left. There are 3 players, and now
What
I'm
do you do
taking
with Javi Baez?
Joel
Do you
Sherman
trade
wrote
Javi
an
Baez
article
for
and-
Carlos Correa?
maybe to offset a little bit of money, maybe. Yeah, I mean, change of scenery and all of that. But Correa, Buxton, Pablo Lopez are taking up more than half of the payroll for this coming season because they thought they were going to keep ticking up, which is what they promised the city and the winning and the whole thing. But they ended up not doing that and going down. So now I think there was a disconnect even with someone like Falvey and former GM Thad Levine as well, where they thought that he was going to take up X amount of the payroll, but it ends up being a much smaller amount. That's why I put this together. So it's Bregman or Correa. And okay, lastly, do you think Correa will be traded or not? Because that even in itself is a bold prediction. You don't think he's getting traded? You think he's going to be taking up a third of the payroll?
I think Twins are 1 year removed from having a really good year and pretty much a week of brutal play, making another playoff run. And to me, that bullpen is still intact. Their starting pitching is enough. I don't know if it's elite, but their starting pitching is enough. I think they feel like they can get back to the playoffs again.
Well, I think they're mistaken because the division's getting better. So it's time.
It is.
They had a nice run of making it to the ALDS for 1 year to give their fans just a little peek. Yeah, but it's okay. Somebody cool and successful is going to take this team over and have it as their toy. Anyway, let us know what you think about the bold predictions in the comments and give us some of your own. I'll check some of them out and maybe we can do a future episode on fan bold predictions on FT.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.